Hannah and Kevin back with you. Late breaking news late last night. The NBA, through the NBA, and it escalated quickly, this news. Adrian Wojnarowski tweeting shortly after 11 p.m. that the Timberwolves had fired head coach Ryan Saunders just hours after his team lost to the Knicks. 11 minutes later, Woj tweeting again saying the Wolves had asked the Raptors for permission to try and hire Toronto assistant Chris Finch. Then 17 minutes after that, Woj again reporting that Minnesota and Finch had finalized a multi-year deal. Wow, NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski joining us now with much more on this story. So Woj, how did the dismissal of Saunders and then the hiring of Finch come together so quickly last night?
Well, Gerson Rosas, Minnesota's president, he had been through having an interim coach in Houston. He didn't love the way that played out, and if he was going to make a change in season, and he decided to do that with Ryan Saunders, he wanted to move quickly to another regime and get a program in place, feeling like he doesn't have time to waste with this Minnesota franchise. He's got history with Chris Finch in Houston, where he was their G League coach and an assistant, interviewed him for the head coaching job in Minnesota 2 years ago, and then moved quickly last night to get permission from Toronto and get a deal done.
Meanwhile, a lot of reaction from around the league about how this went down last night. Here's a tweet from Blazers star Damian Lillard saying this: "How the hell do you not hire T-Wolves assistant David Vanterpool? He's right there on the bench. He's been in front office successfully and on the front of the bench of a winning team successfully, 7 years, and also has played a major role in the development of a dominant backcourt. SMDH, shaking my head. Vanterpool was an assistant with the Blazers from 2012 to 2019. So, Woj, what's Lillard getting at right here with that tweet?
Well, listen, Damian Lillard is right. David Vanterpool is a terrific head coaching candidate in the NBA. And, you know, Gerson Rosas interviewed him for the job in Minnesota that Ryan Saunders kept as the interim coach, and then hired him away from Portland as the associate head coach in Minnesota. And listen, in this league, players like Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, the way they've advocated for David Vanterpool, the way you see Spurs players advocate for Becky Hammon, or in Cleveland with women's assistant Lindsey Gottlieb, the way you hear Kevin Love or Colin Sexton talk about her as a potential future head coaching candidate, this is how change will come in the league. This is how assistants, black assistants in particular, are going to be helped to get opportunities. Darvin Ham in Milwaukee, Wes Unseld Jr. in Denver, Jamal Mosley in Dallas. There is a group, and David Vanterpool, there is a great group coming up in this league that are going to be head coaches that deserve the chance to be head coaches. And I think players advocating the way, especially Lillard and McCollum, who've done a lot of that for David Vanterpool, it's going to help these guys get chances. Ultimately, in Minnesota, for a GM who has got to get this turned around, his history with Finch convinced him that he was the best candidate to help win now. I know how Gerson Rosas feels about David Vanterpool. He thinks he's a head coach in a league. He thought Finch was better for what they needed now.
Okay, we will see how this continues to play out the rest of the way. The Timberwolves face the Bucks tomorrow. Woj, thank you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.